Good morning, Raptor freaks. Seattle's here, and it is Friday, and the Raptors are playing the Los Angeles Clippers here in Toronto. Their one visit for the LA Clippers to Toronto is here tonight, and then the Raptors will go out west and start playing West teams on the West Coast. So Clippers here tonight, and then the Lakers in LA on Sunday. We won't get ahead of things. We're going to do the preview for the Raptors game tonight. Also react to a Raptors 905 victory over the Capital City Go-Go last night and all the other fun stuff we do on the channel. Let's start with the latest lineup news, the stuff for the game tonight. And well, the Raptors still have a lot of guys on the list. Let me just see if there's any current updates that just happened in the couple minutes between when I checked last time. Chucky Hepburn is out due to recovery from his surgery on his meniscus. So he is out tonight. RJ Barrett is ruled out for tonight's game due to his ankle injury suffered last Friday. So he's going to be out for at least a week. And we see Jakob Poeltl is already ruled out for the game tonight due to his back concerns that are ongoing. Jacoby Walter will not be playing tonight once again due to the hip pointer. That is something that he's been dealing with for a few games. Still on the injury list for tonight, questionable with back spasms, is Emmanuel Quickly. Sandro Mamukelashvili is also questionable due to illness right now. Jamison Battle is doubtful for the game tonight due to the ankle twist that he had in the last game. And Garrett Temple is on the injury list also with questionable for his back with back spasms, much like Quickly. Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Raptors. 8 Raptors out of the 17 that we have on our team. So you do the math. We got 9 guys. If all these guys are sitting, that is. We got 9 guys otherwise. So, good for AJ and Elijah. They get to continue to play with the Raptors and, play on that team. So, yeah, who are we likely to start if all those guys are out? I'm really hoping Quickly's back tonight. I would say this. Between Sandro and Quickly, one of those guys should be back for sure. I'll bet you maybe both of them are back. Both of them. Because I know Quick doesn't need to be sitting out for too long. And if Sandro was just sick, if it's just an illness, well, can you get better in a couple days? Probably, right? So I'll speculate the starting lineup tonight without any of the guys that are questionable. Jamal Shed, Brandon Ingram, Scotty Barnes, Colin Murray-Boyles, and why not Grady Dick? Why not? He had a really good performance in the last game. Why not put Grady in there at the small forward and let him run around out there and do some things? Well, I guess he's shooting guard in this formation. Why not put Grady out there and let him run around with the starters tonight, Darko, as a reward for waking up and having a good game in the last game against the Pacers? So yeah, it's an interesting thing what's going on with the Raptors right now. We do have the best record in the Eastern Conference right now in the last 10 games. We've won 7 of our last 10, and nobody else in the East can say that right now. We're the only team. All right, on the other side, Clippers do have a laundry list somewhat too. Of course, Bradley Beal's been out for most of the season. This man's been grifting for years on the NBA with his salary and taking money and sitting around. So, yeah, Bradley is out for the season, and I'm not surprised about that. Derek Jones Jr. has an MCL sprain in his right knee, and he is out for at least 6 weeks, if not longer. So he is out. But Bogan Bogdanovic is not with them on this trip. He did not come on the trip due to a hamstring injury, so there will be no Bogey in Toronto tonight. You will not see that player on the court. Ivica Zubac is questionable for the game tonight. I'm not totally sure what his injury is, but he did miss a game earlier this week already. So, yeah, and they're starting Brook Lopez at center when Zubac is out. Kawhi Leonard has been healthy. He's had a good stretch of play since the beginning of December or something like that, and it's helped the Clippers, trust me. But he is questionable for tonight. We'll have to see if Kawhi decides he wants to play in front of the Toronto crowd tonight. It may be awkward. I feel like it is awkward when Kawhi comes back and plays in Toronto. I feel like it is awkward. And I think it's awkward for him more than it is for us in some ways. Like, I think it's awkward for him whenever he returns to Toronto and Scotiabank Arena because he's reminded of all the things he left on the table when he made the decision he made with Uncle Dennis. So, yeah, Kawhi, it's going to be awkward either way, whether you're sitting on the bench in street clothes watching or you're on the court playing against us. It's going to be awkward. Just like that Drake video where you stand there looking at your hands, going like, this is going to be awkward. I think Drake got it right with that video. You're awkward, bro. John Collins is questionable for tonight also. It's his groin. Yeah, so that's the Clippers injuries. They do have quite a few. And the thing is about the Clippers is you got those big name Hall of Fame guys like Leonard and Harden and those guys, and then you have a lot of young guys that are not they're green and they're kind of it's a weird because they've won a lot lately. The Clippers are one of the hottest teams in the league on the down low right now. They've won like 11 of their last 13 games, guys. Like they were really bad at the beginning of the season, and that would have been great to catch them then, but they're actually been rolling lately. Seriously. The only two teams that beat them in the last 13 games is New York and Boston. Everybody else they played since the beginning of December has been beaten by the Clippers. So this is not an easy game. Don't look at their record. Don't look at their record because they're surging up. And they honestly, before this winning streak that they've been on recently, they only had 6 wins. And all of a sudden they got a 17. So don't look at their record. They're trying to get right with 500, and they are coming with a vengeance coming back. And a lot of that's been fueled by Kawhi Leonard. So a big factor tonight will be whether Claw plays or not, whether he plays or not. And it's saying he's questionable. He's questionable. If they are not playing, the guys I named that are injured, it's going to look like James Harden at point guard. Chris Dunn, the veteran, is the shooting guard. They've been playing Nicholas Batum and Kobe Sanders and Brooke Lopez in the starting lineup when Collins and Leonard and Zubac are out. So we'll just have to see which ones of the Clippers show up. If there's no Zubac, no Kawhi, I'm not crying. I will not cry about that. In some ways, if they are playing, that's a better challenge for us and a better test too. So either way, we'll see if Kawhi's playing. We'll see if Zubac is playing. It's less likely that John Collins is. Less likely. Who else is on the Clippers bench this year? Jordan Miller. He's been a little annoying in recent games. Those 3 guys I just named are normally off the bench. Kobe Sanders, Nicholas Batum, Brooke Lopez. Also, they got Kobe Brown. So they have a couple of Kobes. Ty Washington from the San Diego Clippers is more up with them right now due to the injuries, just like our 2 ways are up for our team because of injuries. So Ty, who we saw in the tip-off tournament against the 905, he's likely to be playing tonight or around the team tonight. A big player that they've been playing a lot lately, and he's been playing very well, is the rookie center, Yannick Conan Niederhauser. He was somebody that was on my draft list last year in the second round. If the Raptors could have picked him, had a backup center. But yeah, Yannick Conan Niederhauser, who's been playing quite well as a rookie center this year. We'll see him tonight. Cam Christie also off the bench. So yeah, the Clippers are not a deep team. They're not a deep team. They've got the very high quality big names that you go, woo, Kawhi, James Harden. But and then a couple of old guys like Lopez and Bogdanovich and people like that, and Batum. But really, they're not like the same Clippers, even in the last couple of years, as far as they're fleshed out like bench with the players they have. They're very trending young on the down low. with a lot of those players there. So yeah, that's the Clippers, man. In some ways, they are very dangerous right now because, like I said, they have been winning a lot since December the 20th when they beat the Lakers. They've only lost twice, and that was against the Celtics and the Knicks. Like I said, they're currently on a 4-game winning streak, going through uh, actually they went back and played Washington back in LA. They flew there and they're coming back this way. It's kind of a crazy trip. But anyway, either way, we're gonna play them tonight, 7:30 at Scotiabank Arena. Yeah. This will be a good test. I mean, if Kawhi's playing, that's a fantastic test for our defensive guys. You know, we get to see a little bit of Colin and Scotty versus Kawhi. And that could be fun. That could be a lot of fun and interesting. It's really a big deal about Zubac, too. Like if Zubac is playing, because in the past, without Jakob out there, Ivica has like eat us for lunch. Like he's been a dominant center kind of dominance on us when we do not have a proper center. And this is looking like what this situation is tonight. So, you know, I hope that Sandro's healthy and that he's not sick anymore. And Scotty and Colin are ready for the task because they very, very well have to deal with Zubac themselves. Yeah, this is yeah, those are the guys I worry about. I don't worry about Harden as much. Harden is flashy and he'll do some fun stuff, but I don't worry about him for winning the game. That says a lot about who he is. I don't worry about him as far as his impact or what he would do to win the game because it's very much the same kind of James Harden. He's gonna shoot like 5 for 25. He'll get probably like 6 turnovers. And a lot of that stuff will play right into the Raptors' gifts and strengths of transition offense. So, yeah, I don't worry about Harden. No, maybe I shouldn't say that. Maybe I should respect him more. All right, let's go look at the refs. In the replay center tonight in Secaucus, it'll be Sheree Mitchell and Dedrick Taylor. That sounds like a Friday night date. Anyway, I shouldn't say that. They might be married. All right, here we go. Here's the refs for tonight. Guys, we got Tony Brothers coming to Toronto to do this Clipper game tonight. This is the second game that Tony's ref for the Raptors this season, and we lost the first game that he ref this year. Tony Brothers is number 25 in his 32nd season out of Norfolk, Virginia. His favorite TV show is the one with Kiefer Sutherland called 24. He likes the movie Claudine. He listens to Earth, Wind, and Fire. His favorite book is the Bible. He likes to eat fried croakers that are pulled from the Mississippi River. He likes the app Spotify. His hidden talent is cooking. Yeah, Tony Brothers has had assignments that have also included the NBA China games in 2008, the NBA Mexico City game in 2024, and the NBA All-Star game in 2009, Phoenix, and 2024 in Indianapolis. Yeah, Tony Brothers is one of the most famous refs in the league. He's got a lot of acrimony. He's got a lot of reputation. To me, I see that what he is he's just a longtime ref that don't take no mess. And if you work hard on the court, he's an old school ref. If you work hard on the court, if you do things right, if you respect the game, you respect the ball gods, Tony Brothers will respect you too. And that's really how it is with him and one of the other refs too, because we got 2 30-year refs tonight. And they're very much birds of a feather. And they have the same kind of mentality about how they referee. So, yeah, Tony, let's see, where are we at with the spreadsheet? Tony Brothers, as I said, we've gotten ref by him once this year, and we lost. Our record with Tony over the years is 47% winning. No, 46% winning. So we have a 46% winning percentage. Is below our franchise winning record. He has been a drag on our record. And but the Clippers, they win 44%. So 46-44 for the Raptors with the crew chief tonight, Tony Brothers. So he slightly favors the Raptors, which is good. The second ref tonight is Jason Goldenberg. And, man, Goldenberg is a golden boy for the Raptors as a referee. Goldenberg. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, number 35 out of his 9th season out of Atlanta, Georgia. Jason Goldenberg's favorite TV show is Curb Your Enthusiasm, starring Larry David. He also likes the movie Tommy Boy. starring Chris Farley. He listens to Rufus De Soul. His favorite book is Ego is the Enemy. His favorite meal is chicken parmesan. His favorite app is the NBA app. He'd most like to visit Australia, and he'd also like to sail around the world in a mega yacht. That's probably bad for the environment, Jason Goldenberg. A mega yacht, really? I'd have more respect for you if you rode around the world in a little dinghy instead, like a little sailing ship. Because there's people that do that too without the bougie mega yacht. It seems environmentally unfriendly. Anyway, Goldenberg has refereed one game for us this year. And guess what? We won it, of course. Jason Goldenberg joined the NBA officiating staff after 5 years as a referee in the NBA G League, where he worked the 2015 NBA Finals. Yeah, Jason is at the top of the spreadsheet, man. He is top 3 ref in the league for us, percentage-wise. We win 69% of our games when Jason is present. And as I said, we won the only game he ref for us this season so far. The Clippers win 55% of their games when Jason Goldenberg is around. So 69 to 55, the split for the Raptors with the second ref, Jason Goldenberg. He is a good luck guy for us. When he is present, we do win often. Derek Collins is the third ref. He's the other cantankerous old ref with Tony Brothers, number 11 in his 25th season out of New Orleans. His favorite TV show is Martin, starring Martin Lawrence. His favorite movie is Glory, starring Morgan Freeman. His favorite musician is Bob Marley. His favorite book is the Bible. So we've got two guys. His favorite book is the Bible. That's the running theme today. And his favorite meal is gumbo. He most like to visit Africa, and his bucket list is to fly an airplane. Derek Collins, before joining the NBA, officiated 5 seasons in the CBA and 3 seasons in the WNBA before working the finals in both leagues. So that's right. Derek Collins is a CBA ref, and that shows you how long he's been around, that he's been around since the Continental Basketball Association. So, yeah, Derek Collins is really bad ref for us, guys. I'm just going to say we've had him once this year. We lost. We lost the game that he refereed already this year. We win 42% of our games when he's around. It's very low. It's very, very low. He's below Ed Malloy, Scott Foster, Tony Brothers, all these guys. And the Clippers win 56% of their games with Derek Collins. So 42 to 56 for the Clippers with the third ref, Derek Collins. Yeah, this is a no nonsense crew. If there's gonna be any kind of extracurriculars or weird stuff, these guys ain't gonna take it. They're not. They are gonna be like, no, no, no. So respect the game tonight, Scotty Barnes and Toronto Raptors, because Tony and Derek are like that. And just trust me, you don't want to get on the bad side of the refs crew tonight because they will be punitive if you are trying to show them up or the game itself. Is what I'm going to say. These guys are referee purists. They believe that you work hard, you play hard, you should get rewarded. So think about that when you're playing tonight, because the refs can actually be in our favor, even if it seems like they aren't because of us being the Canadian team. They can be in our favor when we show the output of wanting to win so bad because we're playing all out like we do normally. That can be an advantage. And then all of a sudden, you see Tony Brothers and Derek Collins giving you the whistle. So this is my biggest advice for the Toronto Raptors tonight is in some ways take the game sacredly, really much more than usual, because in some ways these refs will help you if you do it right. Seriously, these guys will actually help you. They're not trying to be against you, really. I don't think Tony Brothers is trying to be against people. Seriously. All right, there's your ref report for tonight. Tony Brothers, Jason Goldenberg, and Derek Collins. That's right. Yeah. Trevor J's words of wisdom. Good morning, Commissioner of Fun. Trevor J holding it down for us in the Sunshine State in Fort Lauderdale. Learning to slow your reactions is a powerful form of wisdom. When you pause, you give yourself space to choose clarity instead of letting emotions decide for you. Let me pause and think about this before I react to this. Yeah, I agree with this. Sometimes people need to run through their emotions before they act or say anything because they can make things worse for sure if they just explode in the moment of feeling. And that's because I feel this way. That's why I said it. And well, maybe you won't feel that way in like an hour from now or something after you ate something, and sometimes that's what the factor is. So, yeah, this is good words of wisdom. Pause before you react because sometimes people are coming to you with something and they want you to react in a bad way. They're triggering you, they're trying to. So, in some ways, the way to guard your power, to guard your own self reliance and self feelings, is to not take the bait, is to not react, is to not let them have that over you in that moment. Yeah, this is good stuff, man. It's good stuff. Our emotions are a true compass for ourselves, and you should pay attention to them and you shouldn't push them down and drown them out. But at the same time, you shouldn't ride with them publicly and put them right out in everybody's face because sometimes that'll mess you up in ways you don't want. I have to work on this channel because people will write comments and I'll get a reaction. It may be anger, it could be funny. There's all kinds of different reactions I can get on this channel, and in some ways, one of the learning curves I've had with this channel is to temper my reaction and my emotions, especially if I'm getting angry, so that it's, why be more even keeled, Lex. I'm trying to. I'm trying to. That's right. Thank you, Trevor, for the words of wisdom. Blessings to the Jones family and all the Raptor Freak families. That's right. Yeah, Trevor's saying happy game day and let's beat LA tonight. I hate LA. No, I don't hate LA. I've never been to LA. Never ever been to Los Angeles. I've heard all kinds of things about it. I heard it's all spread out. You can't walk anywhere. You got to drive to get anywhere. And the traffic is horrible on the highways. Yeah, I've heard some things about LA. That California state, they got a great governor there, and Gavin Newsom. I'll say that. I'll say that. That's for sure. That's right. Trevor's saying 905 still addicted to winning. Yes. The Raptors 905 won again last night against Capital City Go-Go, and they are now 10-1 in the regular season. And if you really want to go for both of the seasons, tip-off tournament and regular season, these guys are 24-1 officially. That's 25 games and one loss, y'all. Yeah, they're badasses. They ain't messing around. And I think this team, well, it's really kind of Tyreek Key's team now at this point with AJ and Elijah playing for the Raptors more right now. So, yeah, Tyreek has stepped up and he has become the man. And, well, we could do the stars of the game if you want me to. Is that my cue, producer? To go look at the 905 game? That's what Trevor's doing for me here. Yeah, it was a 11-point win, 115-104 over Capital City Go-Go. The Capital City Go-Go fans were very, very enamored with Alex Sarr's older brother, Olivier, in the chat. And they were saying things like, we need to go get Olivier Sarr and pair him with his brother, Alex. And I was like, yeah, do it. Do it. He's like, he'd be great. He looks so good. He's making threes. He's blocking shots. He's doing this and that. And I was like, yeah, do it. Do it. It's like, go ahead, Wizards. He's not on a two-way. He's free. You can go sign him and take him if you want. I just want a family reunion, y'all. Like, I'd love to see the Stars play together on the Washington Wizards. And some people would say, wait a second, Lex. Don't we want him on our team? That's the thing, man. Listen, Wizards fans, especially if you're watching me right now, because you guys did sub up, some of you, with my channel last night. I love you guys. I think it'd be fun. It's worth a try. Seriously, there are things about Olivier that are promising, but there are things that are a little bit disturbing too. So we'll just have to see. If you guys brought him up, a lot of his problems with who he is, it centers around injuries. Seriously, he's had some injuries that have not been good for timing in his career. And he's got some talent. There's flaws there. Let's just put it that way. But Olivier is my number one star of the game for last night for the 905. He had a monster game. He had a 24-point, 14 rebound game in 28 minutes, 8 of 14 from the field, 4 of 6 from 3 from the center. That was what was wowing those Wizards fans. They're like, man, we got to get the SAR. We got to get both SARs. We need SARs. Do you? Do you need SARs? Listen to yourself here. You know what I'm saying? The CDC still open? That's what I'm saying. 2 for 2 at the free throw line, 3 assists, 1 turnover, 1 steal, and 3 blocks, -5 for Olivier. Yeah, he's been playing very strong recently and making more and more of a case that he might get a NBA call up. Seriously, seriously, I can see it. I can see it. It may not be us, guys, and don't get mad if it isn't. My second star of the game is Tyreek. As I mentioned before, Tyreek Key has been carrying this team offensively to make sure they got enough points to beat teams. He has been the main scorer. 36 minutes, 25 points on 8 of 14 shooting, 4 of 6 from 3 also, 4 of 5 from the free throw line, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 5 turnovers, and 2 steals, and an even on the plus minus. Yeah, Tyreek has been just really important to the 905 right now. He's the guy, if they need baskets, he's going to get them. And he mixes it up with drives to the lane and hitting open threes. So they don't know how to guard him exactly. They get too close to him outside. He goes around him and drives. If they get too far off of him, he shoots the three. So he's been a very good offensive threat for Andrew Jones's team. And he's been the leading scorer for them in all 3 of the games this week, both against Birmingham and the one last night. He's been taking the lead, and applause to him. Third star of the game is a role player off the bench named Tyson Degenhart. That's right. Tyson has been doing a lot for the Shadow box score. He had a big steal the other night to help win the last one against Birmingham. Absolutely essential to win. But yeah, he's just doing different things on the court. It's so interesting to see Degenhart in G League compared to what he was in college at Boise State, because at Boise State, he's the man. He's scoring, he's carrying, he's doing most of the ball handling, most of the getting the ball on offense and doing things himself. And well, he's more of a role player that jumps in and does things with the flow of the game. And he's not necessarily getting any of what he got in college, but he's still finding a lot of success in hustling, getting after it, and being in the right place at the right time. Tyson Degenhart, 25 minutes, 15 points off the bench, 4 of 7 from the field. He did miss both his threes, 3 of 5 from the free throw line, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 0 turnovers, and a steal, a plus 14 for Tyson Degenhart. It's weird he doesn't make his threes, but I really like the fact that he got 6 rebounds. And I'm also kind of like, he missed a couple free throws. That was kind of weird too. But yeah, he hit a big free throw late in the game. It was for 3 points because he got fouled on a 3-point attempt. And you know that's one that you really want to make sure you make, because in the G League you take 1 shot for both the points or the points, depending on how you get fouled. That expedites the game. Instead of having to shoot 3 free throws in a row, you shoot that one and it counts all 3 of the points. And well, he made sure he made that one. That's right. Next star of the game, star number 4 is Julian Reese. Julian Reese off the bench, 15 minutes, 12 points on 6 of 9 shooting. He missed both his free throws, 3 rebounds, 2 turnovers, plus 6. Just a big physical presence. I like that he's very efficient for the most part. He's still got a lot to learn. He does get pulled from the game for different mistakes that he makes by Andrew Jones, but man, he's such a raw project. And I really do believe, I said this last night while watching the game, Julian Reese is going to be in the NBA. He's going to be in the NBA. I really do believe this, guys. And if we can be patient with him, he'll come up through our system, hopefully. The last star of the game for me is Quincy Guerrier out of Montreal. He had the highest plus minus for the Raptors last night, a plus 28. So he had like a good winning impact on the team. He's getting after it. He's crashing the boards. He's just doing whatever the team needs. Quincy in 18 minutes, 8 points on 4 of 8 shooting, missed his only 3, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 0 turnovers, and 3 steals. 3 steals, big time for Quincy there. An honorable mention to Jarkel Joyner, 28 minutes, 13 points on 4 of 8 shooting, 1 of 2 at the 3, 2 of 2 at the free throw line, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 3 turnovers, and a steal, a plus 2 for Jarkel. And the starting lineup, David Roddy, weird game, man. He had almost a triple double. He was just an assist shy of a triple double, but man, he is inefficient in other ways, and that's why I couldn't give him a star. 10 points for David in 34 minutes, 2 of 7 shooting, missed both his threes, made all of his free throws, 10 rebounds, 9 assists. But listen to this, he's 2 turnovers away from a quadruple double. So that man could have made one more assist and two more turnovers, and he would have had a quadruple double, but with turnovers being the fourth category. One steal also for David Roddy, a +6. Patrick McCaw has been getting the ceremonial starts recently. He's got started the last three games. Pat McCaw, 2019 Toronto Raptors NBA champion. 25 minutes for Pat last night, 0 points. Took two threes and missed both of them. Four rebounds, two assists, zero turnovers, a -5 for Patrick McCaw, three-time NBA champion. Also off the bench, AJ Hogard, 30 minutes, 8 points, 3 of 10 from the field, 2 of 4 from three, one rebound, six assists, two turnovers, two steals, a +9. Yeah, no Jaden Bediako. And much like the Raptors, they're running with like nine guys. So it's like nine-man rotations for Darko and Andrew Jones's teams right now because of injury, because guys are missing. But yeah, they don't miss a beat. The Go-Go jumped out and were beating us in the first quarter, but the Raptors 905 started coming back in the second, took that lead then and never looked back. Never looked back. They outscored them for the last three quarters. So give the first frame to Capital City Go-Go. But after that, it was all over. Leaky Black. That's right. Leaky Black, one of the better players for them on the other side. 17 points for him, 30 points for Alondes Williams. And yeah, that's the box score for them. Team stats. Just real quick, we'll just go ahead and do all the 905 stuff all in a row. Raptors 905 shot worse than the Go-Go, still won. They got less three-point shots made than them, still won. They shot worse at the free throw line, but they got way more free throw attempts because they were aggressive going to the basket. They did out-rebound Capital City Go-Go 49-29, so +20 on the rebounds. Insane. A +10 on the offensive rebounds themselves. Assist to turnover ratio, we always like to look at that. The 905 had 28 assists as a team, and they had 22 turnovers. Not very good. That's way more turnovers than usual, and credit to the Capital City Go-Go for making them cough it up like that. Most teams have not been able to do that in 905. So, yeah, the Go-Go have one of the better defenses like the Raptors 905 in the G League. Their assist to turnover ratio was better, actually, 29-18 for them. So, yeah, that is an accomplishment right there. And then points in the paint, we beat them 54-52. Pretty close there. But yeah, great game by Andrew Jones and them. And well, they're 10-1 in the regular season and the number one team in the G League. Yeah, they've been the number one team in the G League pretty much this whole entire start since the very beginning of the tip-off tournament. The best team in the NBA G League is the Raptors 905. That's right. Trevor's saying that Giannis almost broke Victor Wembanyama's knee last night. Really? Seriously? I didn't see the play. I don't know what happened there. I hope that Victor's okay. I hope that Victor heals fast and whatever happened there, I'm sure it wasn't intentional by Giannis. And well, like every other player in the league that's injured or stuff like that, I wish you good health and that you can get back out on the court as soon as possible. That's what I say. I'm just generally saying that for everybody, even Joel. I'll say that for him even too. That's right. Seymour's here. Good to see the sheriff, Seymour Pate. Salute all past and present and future Raptor freaks. I love that. I love that. That's cool, man. I like the way you're saying that. That's right. Salute to all of them. Sure, why not? Why not? I like that. I like that. Neil's got a weird. What is that? An alien? Like, what is that? That is. I don't know what that emoji is. It's like some sort of eyeballs in a talking balloon or something. I don't know what that is, man. It's like an unidentified emoji. It's a U, a, a UE, unidentified emoji. I don't know, man. Trevor's saying this, and I think we went over this yesterday, Trevor, honestly. DeMar DeRozan, 23rd player in the history with 26,000 points. Yeah, we've been talking about DeMar's accolades. He passed Kevin Garnett. And I think he did this like last week, and we did talk about this already. So we're kind of catching DeMar's accolades as he catches them on the days when they happen. So I'm pretty sure that he already did this. I think he did this like a week ago. Yeah. James is saying we want Zach Edey. You want Zach Edey? Well, he's hurt. He's been hurt most of the season. In some ways, I'm a little worried for our Canadian big man that he's going to have a proclivity to be on the injury list in his NBA career because that is seeming like a lot so far in his first 2 years in the league. I would love for Zach to be on Toronto. I think that would be a great thing in a lot of ways. But I don't know. Once again, Memphis is kind of in flux. So maybe he is ripe for the picking. Maybe there is a possibility that Zach would leave Memphis because Memphis is all screwed up. I don't know. Once again, you're always bringing these other names in, and we're just trying to do with what we got. And I'm sick of the trade noise. I'll be so glad when the trade deadline's over. I have a two-finger salute for the trade deadline. Two-finger salute to you, trade deadline. That's right, Zach Edey. Yeah, we want Zach Edey. Okay, all in good time. You're impatient. We can't get Zach Edey right now. He's on a rookie contract. He's on a good deal for the Memphis Grizzlies. They value him, and the realism of Zach Edey coming to Toronto right now in any kind of way is very nil. So we could say this. You can want this, but it doesn't mean it's the reality of it is currently possible right now. I mean, I'm trying to look at this in a realistic world and not just like me want this, I want this, I want that. We can't do this. That's not how the NBA works, guys. It's not how it works. Kareem Thomas is saying this question: people who shower in the mornings, does that mean they don't shower before going to bed? It depends, man. You know, what does it matter when they shower or not? I know that some people worry about like, okay, you're going to be out all day and then you go and you go and get in the bed and you feel like the bed's all nasty. Well, if you change the bed sheets and you change your stuff often, it doesn't matter whether you get in the bed dirty from the whole rest of the day. Some people don't have time to take the shower at the end of the day because they are tired and they just want to fall right into bed and stuff like that. Me personally, I take a shower in the morning usually is what I do is when I get up in the morning because I like to wake up and feel fresh and woken up. So I'm more likely to them, but I'll take a shower any time of the day myself personally. But this is a weird question. I don't even understand why you asked this. I would say this, my nephew, he has a weird concept of what he does with all this. He goes to bed with the clothes on that he's going to wear the next day. Like seriously, he's like ahead of himself. Like he goes to he at night when he gets in the bed, he puts on the clothes he's gonna wear out the door the next day. So when he jumps out of bed, he's ready to go. Like I was like, man, that's a genius move, man. So he's like literally wearing street clothes he's gonna be wearing while he's sleeping, but he's like, as soon as he gets up, he don't have to put clothes on. I don't know. There's all kinds of life hacks out there. And I would say this, shower in the morning, shower in the evening, who cares? And if you're judging people on when they're showering, who cares? It's their life. Let them deal with whatever they're dealing with their showers and their bed sheets and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it's like seriously, man. Seriously, what is this? What is this channel? Come on now. What is this? This is crazy. Seymour saying, yes, we do. We may shower. I would say, people may shower too much. Seriously, if you shower like 3 or 4 times a day, that may be too much because you could do skin damage to yourself because the water kind of hits your there's different things with that. I mean, you don't want to be totally French and like only shower every 5 days or something like that. But there's different ways to do this. And you know what? Everybody has a different level of showering and what they feel comfortable with and what they want. You know what I'm saying? You also have to gauge, if whether you're going to be around people or not, whether you have to be showered, just like Kevin Durant. That's right. Kevin Durant want to get nasty sitting in his house because he don't shower for a couple days. That's his life. He's on the off season. He's got millions of dollars. He could just sit in his house and be all nasty smelling because he chose to. He just wants the funk, as he put it. I don't know. Why are we talking about this? Seriously. Seymour's saying I shower every day after work. So yeah, that's weird going to bed funky. Well, it depends on what your work is too. Like if I'm out in the yard and I put in a good hard day's work, yeah, I'll shower after that because I'm gonna be all sweaty and I'm gonna be all nasty from probably chopping branches and doing other things like mowing the lawn and all this stuff. You run in the house and you take a shower after that, and then you're clean for the rest of the day. Or you stand around nasty all for the rest of the day and you wash it right before you go to bed. I don't know. Either way, it's your life. Choose it. It's just how it is, man. James saying Zach and Ja, the Raptors. Just stop, James. Just stop, man. Just stop. And I'm realizing right now, you're the person who keeps orienting our chat on other players and trade more than anybody else in the chat right now. And I respectfully asked you to stop because in some ways I don't want to talk about John Morant and other players every day and the trade bullshit because honestly, I don't think any of it's true. And I think that it's a waste of time. And in some ways, I make these streams about 2 hours a day, but I've been going to 3 hours because people be talking about John Morant and showering. So I'm like, come on, guys, let's stay on task here. Let's stay on focus and let's stay present in what we're doing right now. That's right. That's right. Let's see. James Nelson is here. Let's see what he said. John. Oh, that's the same James. Yeah. James is saying, yeah, he just took it out. I don't know. I don't know. Raptors Champs is saying, good morning, Raptors Freaks and Champs. Today is the day for another W. Yeah, this will be a good one. This will be impressive. In some ways, we want to keep in lockstep with our Atlantic Division opponents, the Celtics and the Knicks, and we want to be one of those teams that beats the Clippers, just like they did. And, them beating them in some ways shows a sign that a gritty, hard-nosed team that gets into them and doesn't make anything easy and makes them uncomfortable can beat them, because that's the common denominator between the Knicks and the Celtics is they're playing a very hard-nosed, put you off of your comfortable places, and then all of a sudden you screw up. So we can do that to Clippers tonight, really get up close to them and make them uncomfortable and just give them hell, as Darko says. That could be a key to the victory tonight because, these other teams that have lost to them, well, the Celtics and the Knicks beat them. What is common about those two teams? What is the element about those two teams? And we have some of that too ourselves. So why don't we make that a big part of our game plan today? That's what I'm thinking. That's right. That's right. You're spamming this. Is this why people like took them out? Okay, I don't know. Or you spammed it, I guess. Raptors Champs is saying, James, you really want Ja. Look at our team's position. We don't need Ja Morant. We just need a center and keep Shed and Barnes on ball. I mean, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Yeah, I'm sick of all this noise. Come on now, guys. That's right. Let's keep going. What is that? Is that a stop clock watch? What is going on there, Seymour? I don't even know what that is. Fierce is saying, good morning, fam. And happy game day. Congratulations, Raptors 905 on another win. Yeah, it's getting tired and old. Like it's a broken record, but it's so easy and fun for the 905 to be playing these games. They'll play Capital City Go tomorrow in the second game of 2, and hopefully they'll get the next dub then. Yeah, they're gonna play tomorrow again. That's right. That's right. Fiercely saying Zach Edey seems injury prone, is currently out for 6 weeks. We need someone reliable, not another AD prototype. Well, I mean, I don't know because he's hometown. In some ways, I will overlook some of that stuff just to try and get him in here right. But what is the point of trying to help with the injuries with Yak if we're just going to get another center that's injured too? That's the big thing with AD. That's a big problem because the balloon of his contract. Now with Zach, I don't know, man. Once again, I'm sick of talking about acquiring people. We need to be talking about the team we currently have and what they're presently doing. And I may do a temporary ban on this channel from trade talk until the trade deadline's over. I think I might do that. James, you're going to have to follow this. In the days that come ahead, you cannot do this every day like you've been doing recently. If I see, I'm going to just ignore it. And when I see any kind of suggestion about a player that we need that we don't have on our team, I'm going to skip those comments, maybe until the trade deadline passes. Because I'm just sick of it, man. Maybe that's going to be my protest. Because seriously, I want to talk about the 905 game last night. I want to talk about the game tonight. I want to talk about the straight goods on Canadian goods. I don't want to talk about all this trade buzz and bullshit from Shams and Mark Stein and all these assholes, Jake Fisher, all this garbage crap content. It's like, seriously, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it, guys. Randolph saying this, game day blessings, beloved Raptors Freak family. It's more blessed to give than to receive. Don't just be a taker. The more of us giving, the less the needs. Yeah. It's weird too, because sometimes you can be such a giver. Like Fred said this on his podcast this week. This is really interesting. Fred VanVleet talking about fame in his early life when he first started making millions of dollars as an NBA player. He tried to be a hero and a savior for all the people he cared about. And he spent tons of money on loved ones and friends. And he wanted to do this and this to help people. And he was doing all this stuff for all these people. But then he realized at a certain point that he wasn't really doing it to help other people. He was doing it to feed his own ego. Isn't that interesting? So, like young Freddie, when he was on those early contracts with the Raptors and he had his first little bit of money, he really was very like, and I'm not saying don't be like this towards people, but there's a balance. And I guess Fred's message was don't do it out of the kindness of your own heart if it's like very selfish. The reason why you're doing it is because, I think it's kind of foolish though. I think you should deserve getting those feelings of giving and feeling good about giving if you are giving, though, Fred. And maybe the message is the wrong message, Fred. It's saying, no, don't be selfish in giving to people because you feel like, oh, I'm doing this because no, if you're actually helping somebody and you get that good feeling also, maybe that's just a beneficial part of it. I don't know. I would say that Randolph's exactly right. We need more givers in this world and less takers. Yeah. Yeah. Blessings to Phyllis family and all the Raptor Freak families. That's right. That's right. Fiercely saying adding toxic and unhealthy players are a no. The Dikembe finger wag. That's right. That's right. Yeah, I'm gonna skip James right there. See, that's what I'm gonna start doing, James. I'm gonna skip you. Let's see. Kareem saying, "Hey y'all, me and my wife might start a YouTube channel. We've been pranking each other for about 20 years, and it's pretty much all on camera. We never posted anything ever. Lots of baby powder and balloons. Man, don't be one of those channels. Seriously." In some ways, those channels kind of upset me because I see often there's a husband and they're setting up these booby traps in rooms where the wife comes in and she gets a mess all over. Like it's a some sort of balloon. Yeah, like you said, balloon with baby powder. And he pops it. He shoots like something from the side of the room and it pops and falls all over when she comes in. That's such an asshole thing to do. That channel bugs me. Those channels bug me because, like, first of all, I'm like, well, who's going to clean that up? The motherfucker who set that trap up better is what I'm going to say. And if the person who got the trap put on them is cleaning it up, that's fucked up. I'm going to say that right there. Man, you could do better than this. That's some of the lowest brow humor. And you know what? Listen, I feel for your wife if that's this kind of stuff you guys are doing over there at your house. I think are you being serious that you're really doing this? Or are you joking? If you do, set up the channel. I'll watch it for a sec. But if it is that content that makes my heart feel sad, I'll be like, yeah, why did you do that to her? Is kind of where I'll be. I don't get off on bullying pranks. Let's just put it that way. And if there's a lot of like just messing somebody up with something, yeah, it's not gonna be my kind of humor. It's too low brow. Let's just put it that way. It's too low brow for me in some ways, right there. Yeah, yeah. Let's keep going. Kareem saying also we made each other um, eat some horrendous stuff during the years. My kids also followed suit, and this is pretty much everyone pranking everyone at any time when we walk in the house. Is booby trap. Well, it's great that y'all have so much free time that you can do this and clean up so much. I don't know. I'd have to see your content to finally judge it. Seriously, if it's good and lighthearted and warm, maybe I'll like it, but it's less likely I will. Just for laughs is a prank show that is actually pretty funny at times, but it can be very cruel and mean at times too. Like scaring the shit out of somebody and they're like, "Oh," and they almost have a heart attack. That kind of stuff, man, I don't know. It's a fine line on pranks, man. I'm telling you. It's a fine line because pranks are very much just clouded bullying in some ways too, is what I look at it. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sounds cool. He watch it. Seymour would watch it. Okay, we'll put it out there, Kareem. We'll try it out. We'll try it out. Let's see. Yeah, we're gonna skip James's stuff. James's comments are getting skipped. Mr. Quasimodo is saying, what do you recommend the Raptors adapt to with the Clippers that have to be mindful of? I think one of the biggest things for tonight is Zubac if he's playing, because in the past years when we played the Clippers without Jakob, he's been the deciding factor in kicking our ass and beating us because he overpowers us as a true center and he plays a big game. He gets like a 20 and 15 game or something like that with like 4 blocks. So that's the big concern I have. In some ways, I'd much rather Zubac sit out than Kawhi. And if we had to choose between the two, I'd much rather play against Kawhi tonight than Ivica Zubac. Seriously, because that's the weakness we have right now. In some ways, if you look at Kawhi, we could maybe cover him up with Scotty and Colin, and kind of that's a better matchup for us to try and defend. So it's Zubac. He is a concern. He's definitely a concern for me tonight. if he is healthy and on the court. If he isn't, well, that's a breath of fresh air. Woo! Okay. Oh, jeez. Yeah, because I honestly I feel way better if Jakob was available, if Zubac was showing up. If we had to play the Clippers in the finals and Jakob and him were both healthy, we could battle him fine. But with Yak out, he's a big problem. He's a big, big problem. Trevor's saying, did we talk about the two coaches? Yes, I went over this too. Trevor, I know that you come in every morning and you give me the words of wisdom and you take off and you're not watching the whole show, obviously, because everything you're bringing in is a couple days late. And yeah, we talked about this. I went over who they are and where they come from. The one of them's a video coordinator that worked with Sandy and the Liberty already, and the other one was working for Phoenix Mercury, and she has an extensive coaching career in college and the WNBA. So yeah, two assistant coaches hired by the Tempo, and yeah, we went over them. Brian Langton and Ciara Carl are their names. That's right. Yeah. Champs is like shower questions. I know. I don't even know where we got there. Like sometimes y'all drive the car to weird destinations on the chat. Let's just put it that way. Shower questions. All right. All right. Do you guys want an NBA shower fun fact? Chris Mullen of St. John's / Golden State Warriors / Indiana Pacers used to shower 4 or 5 times a day in his life, almost every day. Yeah. He's a crazy shower freak. Yeah, Chris Mullin showered at least 4 times a day, almost every single day. While he was an athlete, he was showering like over showering. Really crazy, yeah. Mr. Quasimodo saying this has nothing to do with the Raptors. Laugh out loud. I know. I don't even know why I allowed this with Kareem Thomas. Well, he is a dunk champion, and well, in some ways, he has a little bit of license and leeway to do this. In some ways, it enriches the show with a different topic, even if it's like, why are we talking about this? Seriously, man. All right, we'll keep going with it. Fiercely saying shower morning and before bedtime. And my daughter does the same. We're females. So if you know, you know. I don't know. And I don't want to in some ways too. And she's like, switch the topic, please. Yeah, I don't know. And I don't want to know. Kenrick Chronic Art James is here, y'all. Listen, one of the best tattoo artists in the greater Toronto area is Kenrick. He's a huge Raptors fan. He's been a longtime Raptors fan since the beginning, and he really loves the Raptors. And he could hook you up with some of the best Raptors tattoos if you wanted to get some ink on your body that's Raptors. That's right. So check out Kenrick Chronic Art James. He's just a fantastic artist, just a regular visual artist, not to mention a great tattoo artist. So anywhere you can find him on social media, if you've ever really wanted to get some Raptors ink, Kenrick's your guy. I'm going to tell you that right now, man. He's saying this: the Clippers are older, talented team, and the crowd is weird. But if we play physical and run hard, they will. The Clippers will be able to handle our style. I think this is a good point by Kenrick. We've got to remember these California teams are old and lazy. Whether it's Golden State Warriors, even the Lakers with Luka and LeBron, and the Clippers, the old folks' home that the Clippers are. Now, this is what I'll say. Well, what happened when Golden State came to Toronto around Christmas? We beat them, right? Well, we need to do this again to another old team. And I think Kenrick's exactly right. Run them off the floor. This is one of our best strategies to beat teams in this league that don't work as hard as us, is to run them off the floor, tire them out. They want to play lazy. They want to play kind of woo in my own little groove, James Harden. Well, we'll go ahead and make you run, make you have to move your feet, because the Raptors can make another team have to do that in the style of play. So up and down transition, being dog, getting up on their face. Yeah, Kenrick's got some keys to victory, the path to the win, to get the victory right there. Oh yeah, he's got it. He hit the right piano key on that one. That's right. Trevor's saying, if you don't shower, no soup for you. Okay, soup Nazi. He's saying, no shower, no soup for you. Do you think he did that on Seinfeld? Maybe that's why he hated Kramer. He's like, no soup for you, Kramer. You smell. But it's because Kenny Rogers Roasters opened up next to me, and I can't get my shower head right. Okay, all right, Cosmo Kramer. Yeah, let's see. Fiercely saying this. I was so annoyed at the Heat yesterday. They led by 19, but let the Celtics come back to win. Low key, I want us to be better than the Celtics in the rankings. Yeah, I was annoyed by this too. I don't normally score watch, but I saw that Norman and the Heat had that game in control, at home against the Celtics, but alas, the Celtics came back and beat them by the end. I was mad too about that. But you know what? The Knicks have been losing a lot. In fact, we'll go look at the standings real quick because the Knicks have lost 2 in a row, and now they're only a half game above us, and the Celtics flipped over them. And this is a crazy thing. The Celtics are only a full game ahead of us. So we win tonight. There's a lot of gumption to win tonight, Scotty. You win tonight, you could actually maybe pass the Knicks or at least tie them and be even with them for third place in the East. You guys are way closer to Boston and New York now than Philadelphia and Orlando and all them behind us. They're a half game behind, and we're a half game behind the other teams and a full game behind the Celtics. So seriously, these games really matter right now because in some ways you're getting positioning, maybe be able to jump up even higher in the Eastern Conference standings because the Celtics and the Knicks have been faltering a little bit more recently. And in some ways, the Celtics are evening out in ways that I think that they would. That they're way above where they're supposed to be right now. They're overachieving. They are not supposed to be this good, and at some point, the bottom's going to fall out with the Celtics, and they're going to fall a little bit in the standings. Trust me, trust Lex. I'm saying this. This is a long season. We just got the halfway point, and the Celtics being so young and having like the makeup right now, I don't see them sustaining this winning clip that they did in the fall. They were very, very, very much playing at top level and kind of above and beyond where they should be with who they have on the court right now. So I'm expecting the Celtics to lose a bit more than they have so far this season in the second half of the season, and they may fall into a playoff position without home court advantage. That's where I think they might end up by the end of the year. The Knicks are having some trouble right now. They went to Sacramento and lost to the Kings, and Mike Brown was mystified, and he's kind of throwing some of his players on the bus, saying some things about Cat and other things that are going on. So things in Knicks Nation are turning a little sour and toxic, just a little bit right now. And we'll just have to see if that grows or they get their shit together. But yeah, we're in a good position, especially if we beat the Clippers tonight, to make some ground on the Eastern Conference. Yeah, we're in good position for this, Fiercey. But we need to win. We need to win against the Clippers tonight. Yeah, she's saying that Spoelstra calling out Kelly Ware at a presser. I don't like when coaches do that. It's not the way to motivate your players. Darko doesn't operate like that. Way more tactful. Yeah, I mean, Spoelstra, he's been doing it so long. In some ways, you got to figure that he's doing it for the way what has worked for him in the past. It could very well be it was warranted for Kellel. Kellel's a weird player. When we scouted him before that draft, remember, we were very wary of him because of maybe possible attitude problems, right? Like we were worried about him. We had questions about whether he was a hard worker, and we had questions about how he was with his teammates because there were some questions about him from college. And there may be more to it, and Eric's exactly right for doing that. It's only because, like, look, Kellel's a young player. He has immense talent, but I'm sure he's frustrating the hell out of Heat players, a Heat team, and the Heat fans in some ways because he does probably do some dumb fouls and does some dumb stuff in certain ways too. I mean, I agree. It's not good for a coach to throw a player under the bus in an interview. But I would say this, with how long Eric Spoelstra has been a coach in this league, I mean, he would be making these comments unless he really felt like it was the right thing to do. And it could very well motivate Kellel in the right way. So, Darko's not perfect with this either. You say he doesn't throw people under the bus, but he has in his 3 years he's been with us. There has been times where he has said something about a player. Like I've heard him say something like Jamal's turning the ball over way too much and he has to fix that. He will call people out in his press conference. And but it's usually with constructive criticism, and it's not like I don't know. You could call it throwing him under the bus, though. You could, because he's making it public, right? He's making it public. Raptors champ saying, I'm going Wild Wings for lunch, Lex. Any wing flavor suggestions? This is an awesome question. And you know what? I'm going to do the straight goods on Canadian goods with Wild Wing today. Why not, man? Wild Wing is a fantastic wing company in Ontario, and I think they're probably outside of Ontario too. They started in Sunderland, Ontario, and they have locations all over the place. If you see a Wild Wing, they have so many different flavors, And I'm going to give one of the unknown flavors is one of the best Raptors champs right here, right now. You listen to this. All right. Have you ever wanted to combine the greatness of wings with pizza? Yeah. Pizza and wings is something that they're always trying to sell you from those pizza companies, right? You get the wings combo with the pizza. What if you had wings that tasted like pizza? Yeah. Raptors champs. It's spaghetti western. Go to Wild Wing and try some of the spaghetti western. It's basically like pizza flavored wings. You got the marinara and the parmesan on there, and they taste like pizza. So it's like if you ever had pizzarios or whatever, they were like an old pizza chip, like potato chips in a bag, pizzerias or whatever they were called. It's an old Keebler bag of chips. There was pizzerias. They were like pizza flavored potato chips or chips. Man, forget that. These are wings that taste like pizza, man. So yeah, spaghetti western. That's a good one right there. That's my recommendation for you, Raptors champs. You check it out and you tell me what you think because it's like, yeah, I was like, wow, these are like pizza wings. So try that spaghetti western. That's the one. But yeah, Wild Wing is a great Canadian chain and brand and locations all over the place. Find the Wild Wing in your neighborhood and go check them out. Seriously. Yeah. All right. Straight goods on Canadian goods. You gave me the one. I have one here, a product, but I'll save it for tomorrow since you lobbed me a nice little set and I spiked that on the volleyball. Thank you. Spaghetti Western. That's the one right there. That's the one. I like my favorite wings, though, overall at Wild Wing are just the regular hot buffalo wings. Ooh-wee, it's so good. You can't go wrong with that either. Yeah. Yeah. Cream's saying, I am absolutely serious. Nothing but jokes and laughter. Okay. Well, we'll have to see your prank channel, Bob Saget. We'll have to see your prank channel, Canada's funniest home videos. Let's see it. Bring it. Let's see what you got. All right. I want to see Alan Funt. All right. Let's go. All right. See, Jimmy Pope is in the house. He's saying this. I don't know why, but I get so offended when people talk about trades and stuff like that. I'm just like, these are our guys, and look at it like a betrayal. I can't imagine being a player and seeing the noise. Nope, the team stays off social media. Yeah, it's annoying. And yeah, you're right. You're right. That's why in some ways the players have to really think about loyalty and things in a really deep way. In some ways they have to be selfless. You know, if they're petty and they really do hear some of the stuff the fans say, that can really turn them against the fan base and they're in the middle of like playing for the team and it just gets to ugly place. If some people are emotionally immature, they will get to that. And especially the fans are emotionally immature and they're saying all kinds of stupid shit. But the worst is when you have a player on your team that's emotionally immature and can't handle it, and they're acting out, and then they're toxic on the down low. That's the thing I hate about all the fan noise. And Jimmy's exactly right. He's not the pope of positivity for no reason, because in some ways it's like, look, RJ, if he read all the shit that dumbasses are writing about him and all the trade rumors and stuff like that, sure, he could get bogged down with it, but he ain't got no time. He's got to go work out. He's got to go rehab and get his ankle right. He's got to go travel with the team. He's got to go do all the things he does in his life that has nothing to do with any of that. But yeah, we see it because we are out there and we have the time and we see it, and it is disheartening because you're right. It's about loyalty. It's about like, what are you? You're a sellout. That's why I say that people that are constantly doing this kind of stuff, I don't know if they're actually Raptors fans or they're trade fans. And that's why it annoys me. James, I'm wondering seriously, because I get like you've asked different kind of questions over the last year or so, and some of them are more basketball oriented than trade oriented, but there are a lot of trade questions too. And I'm just like, man, this is not the focus of this channel is to trade speculate. And that was actually one of the biggest rules in the beginning of my channel when I first started, James. It said we don't do trade talk here. We don't do trade talk here. And that was part of me trying to make myself stand apart from the other Raptors content makers because they were just all the time trade talk, whether it's Raptors Digest, Luca Rosano, any of them. They were always just talking trade talk. And I'm like, this is boring. This is like, I used to always say this, James. It's like writing celebrity fan fiction. Oh, you want to write a story about the friends at Central Perk, and then there's an orgy and all this. Oh, you can write all the fan fiction you want about NBA fan fiction, trade fan fiction. You want to do that? That's a waste of time to me, man. It's a waste of time. I deal with what's happened and talking about it and reacting to it, not speculating about trades and stuff like that. And maybe I need to go back to my old values on this because it was very much frowned upon to come in here and just instigate trade talk on my channel over and over again. We made the first year or so of my channel is a big no-no. And we didn't have nobody talking about trades or nothing for the very reason that Jimmy's brought up here. For the very, very reason, because we want to show we're a loyal part of the fan base, the Raptor freaks, and we're not trying to look at, it's like are you living next door to your neighbor and ogling the neighbor's wife and like, oh, I love your wife, she's so hot. We're not doing that. We're happy with the wife we have at home and the life we have at home and the kids we have at home. We're not trying to have the life that other people have across the street. That's what I'm saying. We are fine. We got a great house and a great family and a great team on our team. So that's the way I kind of look at it. It's like we don't need to do this. In some ways, it's a sin. It's a sin. In some ways, it's a sin, man. I'm just saying, man. Kareem's saying this: lemon pepper. Whoever asked about wings, yeah, this is a good one too. My mother and Adriana love the dry lemon pepper rub, where it's just like they're dry with no sauce, but they got lemon pepper on them. Oh yeah, that's the one. We usually get that too when we get a big order. Like we like to get the Maverick. The Maverick at Wild Wing is 5 flavors, and we all eat them. Yeah, and usually like one part will be spaghetti western, one will be lemon pepper, and then like 2 of them will be buffalo hot because my dad and I love that one, and we eat like most of those. And sometimes we'll get a barbecue as the 5th one. We'll get like a bold, classic bold barbecue wing. Those are probably the 5 we would pick right there. If it's like my parents, Adrienne and I, we're just the 4 of us are going to get Wild Wing. Yeah, we've done that in the past. Lemon pepper is my mom's favorite. That's for sure. Yeah, you're a wing guy? Yeah, I like wings too. Wings or whatever, like flats, wings or flats. I don't know. Either I don't care. I'll eat it. It's the wing, right? It's the same thing, right? That's right. Zipper Dude's here, man. Zipper Dude. Good morning. Thank you for the subscription, my guy. If the playoffs started today, what realistic chances do you think the Raptors have to make it out? Okay, what are my realistic idea what the Raptors could do in the playoffs this year? Well, if we have home court advantage in the first round, which is likely the way it looks like right now, is I think we could get through the first round, and after that, anything's wide open depending on momentum and vibes and how we've built our team. You could look at the team, the Pacers last year, and they went way above and beyond where they were supposed to go last year, right? And really, why they did was because they kept building their excellence as they went through the season. They kept building their excellence from round to round to be able to beat the Knicks and get to the finals to play Oklahoma City. That's why I say, when teams start their seasons and they're saying, "What are your aspirations this year?" and Darko's saying, "Nah, we don't have any like plans, like make the playoffs, whatever." No, we're not trying to put any stress on us, but an NBA season for a team is a journey, an odyssey, and you don't always know where your destination is at the end of the year. The whole concept of what you're doing is you're trying to tinker and make yourself better as the whole year goes on, stay healthy, and just build chemistry and get better and better and better. You should be a better team in April than you were in October. And so, you never know where you travel to as a team on a journey. And with the emergence of Scotty becoming a more consistent, bread and butter every night kind of guy on 2-way, both sides, and what he's doing. Having Brandon as a clutch factor and player to carry, much like the guy we're playing, hopefully tonight, maybe not, Kawhi Leonard. There's a lot of X factors and there's a lot of different things. Some of it has to do with timing. Some of it has to do with luck. Some of it has to do with matchups and who's available and who isn't. Some of it may have to do with referees that we get for games that are crucial and what they're doing with their job. So, I mean, I would say for me, I think that this year is already successful no matter what, because we've got a huge amount more wins. We're a winning team and we're likely to make the playoffs. And some Raptors fans are championship or bust. They'll get upset if we don't even make the championship. They're like, whatever, that's not realistic totally. But could it be if we do get this journey's destination set up to get to that point somehow, some way? Who knows? I mean, if you say this way we felt about the 2019 Toronto Raptors, they were a team of destiny and they went through all kinds of stuff that a lot of people never thought they could do to get to what they did. So, I mean, I don't put a limit on what they could do. I think that it's likely that they could get past the first round, but after that, all bets are off. Who knows? And you know, I'm going to be happy with whatever they do this year because man, we have had such a great year, such a successful year this year. And even if we just make the playoffs and lose in the first round, it's still a success because we got back to the playoffs. So yeah, Zipper dude, I don't know, man. This team is capable and very, very talented. And if we got the right health and we get in the right grooves and we're doing the right things, by the time the playoffs come around, we'll have to see who we are because we could be a lot more dangerous than people give us credit. I would say that. Great question, and thank you for a great first question, and thank you for this for the subscription once again. Trevor's saying today is Andrew Nebhard's birthday today, so happy birthday to Andrew. Happy birthday to Aurora's own Andrew Nebhard. That's awesome, man. Shaq Lindsay's in the house. Good morning, Shaq Lindsay. Thank you for supporting the channel. That's right. James is saying Kellel Ware has attitude issues. That's why he fell during draft, but the dude has talent. Yeah, he's extremely talented. And that's why I'm saying, like, in the new NBA, even if you're that talented, doesn't mean you're for sure because people are wary of the knucklehead stuff. That's the thing. Maybe Kellel Ware could have been like a top 3 pick if he didn't have some of the extra baggage besides his physical talent. That's what I'm saying. I mean, there were questions about this. We did investigate him before the draft that year, and that was what we came up with when we researched it, that there was some news that he was maybe a problem person with teammates to a degree, something like that. Yeah, James, that's a good point. See, that's a comment that I like right there. That's a comment that I like right there. Is this a different James? Is that's what it is? I think it's 2 different Jameses. I'm sorry, James. Raptor Freak James that plays in our league. There's a different James here, apparently, I guess. Shaq Lindsay saying, F all the trade rumors. All we need is what already on our team. We are one of the youngest teams in the league in comparison to Charlotte, who's also very young, and we're in the same position as us. That's right. That's right. No, I agree with this, man. I'll go back to that point I made a couple days ago again. NBA teams in the past kept their teams together as a contingency over time, and they were better for it because of familiarity and building chemistry and bonds. And that's the big secret. In some ways, that's the weaponization in the NBA is free agency and player movement to bust up stuff that builds over time, over long term. A lot of the teams that have been super successful and stayed intact, like the Golden State Warriors, and other teams that have kept a main core nucleus together, you could say the Celtics on the down low, is they benefited from it. But meanwhile, if you're going around and shaking the tree on Milwaukee, Giannis has to leave. Oh, Giannis has to leave. Giannis has to leave. Raptors need to get rid of RJ. Why are they doing this? Why are they doing this? Because they don't like a player like Giannis in that market. They want to market him bigger, even though Giannis has very publicly said he doesn't want to leave Milwaukee. So what is not working here? What is the disconnect here? Is there a lot of just energy out there that just wants to dislodge Giannis out of Milwaukee because he doesn't want to go, and the Milwaukee Bucks don't want him to go either? And isn't that who matters the most in this situation? Is the actual player and the actual team, but the league wants him to go? I mean, that's what that looks like to me at this point, because Giannis has very publicly said he wants to be a Buck for his entire career, and he's not trying to leave Milwaukee. I wish the NBA would respect that. I wish Mark Stein would respect that. I wish Jake Fisher would respect that. I wish Shams would respect that, because it seems like the man's saying it out there, but no, they want to manufacture noise. They want to put all that. I mean, that's a good example of exactly how much malarkey there is out there in the NBA rumor sphere. It's like Doc said it himself too. He's like, Giannis is not trying to leave. I don't know why y'all keep saying this. He's like, he's never said anything to me about wanting to be traded. And Giannis is coming out and say, yeah, guys, I love Milwaukee. I'm not trying to leave. I don't know why you guys think I'm trying to leave. You know, there's something's lying here. Huh? Who's lying? Who do you think is telling the truth? The guy himself? The team? Who do you think is telling the truth here? Even with this team that's put around him right now, he stayed steadfast. My prediction last summer was that Giannis would get pissed off because this team is bad around him this year, and they're going to have another losing team. But he's showing maturity and patience and saying, you know what, I don't care. I've won a championship with Milwaukee. What do I have to prove still? What do I have to prove still? Oh, you guys can't do this to me like you did to Lillard. No, you can't. I've seen Lillard too. And in some ways, maybe Lillard coming to Milwaukee for 2 years and talking to him and saying, man, I shouldn't have left Portland, man. I should have never left Portland, man. I was in Portland and I had this perfect thing where I was just Portland the whole time. And I screwed that up. I came here for 2 years in Milwaukee, and this is a big failure. The grass isn't greener on the other side, Giannis. I'm just going to tell you that right now. He's like, Giannis is seeing this with Dame Lillard right there. He's like, oh, man, I'm never leaving Milwaukee now then. That could be what happened. But there's a disconnect. The NBA media, the NBA league wants Giannis out. They want him so bad on a team like New York. They're going to try and pull it apart and be toxic. This is the same energy. It's the same energy that is out there in anything pertaining to the Raptors and rumors. It's the same energy. So it's like Giannis could say every day, he could come into work and say, guys, I love being a Milwaukee Buck. I want to be a Buck for the rest of my career. And they wouldn't listen to him. No. Giannis is rumored to go to New York. Well, does this make sense? What I'm saying right here is crazy, man. It's crazy. Trevor's saying this: misery people love misery company and productive talk. What? Misery loves company? I think I've heard that saying before. Some people are miserable and they see you happy. They'll try and bring you down. They'll try and knock you down a peg to be at their level. Don't let them. You have an independent happiness that cannot be taken by anyone. That's what you have to tell yourself. That's right. That's right. Infamous is here. Good to see Infamous in the chat. Jared Dudley described Morrison as the most disgusting teammate he ever had. Dudley claimed Morrison rarely showered, chewed tobacco constantly, and wore the same 3 polo shirts for an entire year. Talking about Adam Morrison of Gonzaga. I mean, he was looking rough with that crazy porn stash and his mullet, right? When he used to play in the NBA. Like, he looked really rough. He didn't even stay in the league that long. Maybe that's why, man. Seriously, in some ways, you got to be a pro. You got to be all this stuff to be an NBA player. In some ways, you got a public image. You got all kinds of stuff. Don't be moisturizing too long, Serge Ibaka. Well, maybe do somewhere in between. Adam Morrison, don't need moisturizer, but at least bathe, motherfucker. I mean, this is crazy. This is so interesting that Infamous would just put this comment in the middle here. I guess it's the theme of the day is hygiene and showering. And Adam Morrison's a dirty, filthy person, apparently, is what Infamous has divulged to us here. Okay, that's interesting. Maybe he'll be the classic card of the day today, and we'll get really weird vibes from that. Like, whoa, we were just talking about him. Shaq Lindsay saying this: last year, look at where we are now, 4th in the East compared to Charlotte, who is 12th. I think we're okay. Let's just stay the course. There's no need to panic. Let's give Dick some time to grow. That's right. That's right. That's totally valid for him to say that, because Dick does need to grow some more again. That's right. All right. All right. We need a shower after that comment. I feel unclean. All right, here we go. Shaq Lindsay saying, you know what I mean. Yeah, I do know what you mean. And also, he's saying teams like LA that go for the home run, look at where they are now. Are they any better for it? No shortcuts in the NBA. That's the thing. I try to tell people there's no shortcuts. Getting a big name just doesn't plop into you and make you all that. There's no shortcuts. There's always a flaw in the shortcut where you get screwed up. And it's much better to build your team up slowly but surely, like the Denver Nuggets, get into their championship recent years, like the Milwaukee Bucks and Giannis and the way they built up, like the Toronto Raptors and the way we built up to the 2019 championship. So it's like there has to be a build-up. There's no shortcuts. If we are fast crew because we have AP class intelligence and gifted players that catch on quicker and they're younger and they're ahead because they're people like Jamal Shed and Colin Murray-Boyles, that may make things go a little faster. But it's not going to go faster by adding a big name and just trying to say, boom, that's it. I mean, Brandon, we had to wait for him to get back from injury. And this year is really integrating him and making him more part of the Raptors system and more comfortable more and more as the year goes on. So, yeah, everything takes time to gel. And that's the thing. You keep switching up your team. You move guys in and out. You got to start a little bit over each time. And that's a big part of it right there. That's a big part of it. Fiercely saying this, for those interested, there will also be Unrivaled games tonight and tomorrow live on YouTube because we never know who can land on tempo. Sure. That's awesome. Yeah, I like that. I heard that Trevor posted something about Kia Nurse is going to be in the Unrivaled League. She just signed up or showed up for that. So she's going to be playing in some of these games coming up soon. Canadian Kia Nurse from our broadcast. Yeah, check out Unrivaled. I've never watched it myself. I don't know if I'll get into it watching it myself because to me it's kind of like watching college, women's college. I don't have the time, and in some ways, there's not a Canadian team in the Unrivaled League. So, you guys check it out, and maybe you'll get a little ahead of me on scouting some of the women possibly coming to Toronto Tempo. I really hope they can get this figured out because I'd really like to get some players and the roster and knowing who we got and Sandy and Monica and them being able to work with them. Seriously, these things are crazy. Yeah, phrasing. Milbester's here. Good morning, Milbester. How are you doing? Fiercely saying, hi, Milbester. What is happening with the Knicks? 1-3 on their West Coast road trip. Yeah, it's tough. The Western Conference is supposedly better than the East. And that's what we'll have to see when we go out there next, too. Is the Knicks are going out there and they're not winning as much all of a sudden against Western teams. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. We'll have to see if we do better against the West than the Knicks have recently. We'll have to see. Yeah. Yeah. Milbester's saying, good morning, Lex. How's everyone's day? Happy Friday. Raptors beat Clippers. What were the recent games and wins you had? We are playing the Clippers tonight. We have not played them yet. This is a preview for the game tonight. We just beat Indiana on Wednesday, and we split a series with Philadelphia earlier this week where we beat them in a 1-point game overtime, and then we lost to them the next night. So yeah, we are currently number 10 on the ESPN Power Rankings. So respect that. Usually saying we will beat them tonight. I hope so. I hope so. All right, let's do the Instagram stories real quick. Jamal Shed was playing the 2K last night. And I'm going to say this, man. Jamal Shed had a monster game. He got 100 points. He got the wilt on the video game last night, shooting 36 of 46 from the field with 28 three-pointers. That's crazy, man. He had 13 assists, too. 100 points for Jamal Shed in a 2K game last night. He had to brag. He had to post it on his Instagram stories. He had to show it. It's crazy, man. Yeah, there's Andrew Jones celebrating the win over the Capital City Go-Go last night. They got to go get the next one. He had some friends there, and he was taking pictures with them. They're people from Penn State, from his alma mater. There's Lindsey Dunn with her dog outside. There's crazy snow day yesterday. Lots of stuff shut down. But yeah, the dog's out there using the bathroom in downtown Toronto with all the snow on the ground. Yeah, let's see what else we got. There's Sandro's fiance, Mercedes, has their dog out in the snow. He looks cold. And then also she's got the dog in the bed. Oh, so cute. And then also she's got something about the weather. She's about to go to LA, and the weather change from Mississauga to LA is a big difference. So when they go to LA after the game tonight, she's looking forward to the California weather. So yeah, loved ones will do this. Shakina was really like this a lot with Thad Young. She was very much complaining about the weather all the time. So Sandro's lady complains about the weather a lot, just so y'all know. Cinderella Stories with Savannah and Ashley. Check out their podcast always. Fantastic podcast by those two. Always entertaining and funny. Let's see. Kelly Olynyk is showing practice video from the Spurs practice. There's Bismack. Look at Bismack. Bismack's cool. Maybe we should get Bismack. I don't know. And he's got a sushi lunch. Wow, that's really good, like presentation. It looks artistic there. Jonathan Mobo putting on blast his 905 teammate AJ Lawson on his Instagram from him. AJ's feeling good, man. Honestly, his Instagram's interesting because he's really reveling in coming up. And he said this, it didn't come overnight, guys. What AJ's doing and being with the Raptors right now, we know, we've watched him. It took a while this season for him to get his spot and to come in and play rotation minutes for the Raptors like he is currently right now. But there's no guarantee he'll keep that. But I'll tell you right now, he has a good shot to. He has a good shot to. But when guys get healthy and they come back, we'll just have to see how things shift again. We'll just have to see. But yeah, keep living that dream, AJ. And you're a bona fide NBA player. I'm sorry, man. In some ways, the Raptors have been stashing you as a two-way just to keep you around because we love you and you're hometown hero. And in some ways, that's the way we got to do things to keep you around. Well, you're a soldier. You go out there and you do the 905 work just like the Raptors work. And we appreciate you for it, AJ Lawson. Just so you know, we appreciate you for it. Be ready for whatever is coming. That's right. CBL did some interesting things yesterday, guys. The Canadian Elite Basketball League is changing. Their season this year is going to tip off on May the 9th. It's season number 8 for the CBL. Now, what they did was basically they changed their format for their playoffs, guys. This year in the playoffs, they're going to have a semifinal for the conference, which is single elimination. The team with the better record will host it. And then there'll be a finals for each conference, East final, West final, and those will be single elimination also. And the team with the better record will host it. And then the finals of the two conferences, the two teams that are in the last finals, the CEBL finals, will get a 3-game series from now on. They've been doing single elimination finals for the history of the CBL so far, but they're going to actually do a 3-game series, best of 3, where the first game will be played at the team with the worst record, and then the last 2 games of the best of 3 will be at the team's house that has the best record. So, yeah, the CBL has expanded its finals series to a 3-game series from a single elimination game. That's great news. That's pretty cool. That'll give it a better element of competition at the end of the CBL season. Very, very cool. Pascal Siakam's got cool pictures of him taking shots artistically. And there's a highlight from him putting a move on Colin Murray-Boyles, leaving him behind and going to the basket. Woo-wee. The Toronto Tempo, once again, announcing their assistant coaches. Grady Dick with an action picture of him with Abaji, Scotty, and Battle from the game the other night. And there's his line, 21 points, 11 rebounds, and 3 assists, his first double-double in his career. And, yeah, that's pretty much the Instagram stories for today. Yeah, that's it right there. All right, Milbester's filled it up, I can see. All right, I don't know if this is mostly MLB stuff. I don't know if I want to read this book you gave me here. All right, let's see. Milbester's saying we're close to the trade deadline. Luckily, Knicks are fine. Just a quick bad stretch, but all the teams got the trade deadline coming up in a couple weeks to get better. So you look at it that way? Seriously? I hope y'all make a big trade. Go ahead, make a big trade, Milbester. You guys want to get better? Go ahead, trade your guys. Screw up your chemistry. Do it, please. Go ahead and overtrade like the Knicks have in the past. Just because there's a trade deadline doesn't mean you have to participate, just so you know. But you go ahead. You go ahead. You guys have great logic in New York with how you guys do things with your front office. You always have. So you go ahead. Make a deal. Please. Go make a deal. Do it, Milbester. I dare you. Go make a deal. You get better. Milbester's saying, I was watching the NFL playoffs, Lex. That's why I was gone for a while. It's been good this year. All the games been close. Divisional round tomorrow. Of course, the WBC is coming up for me. Then the World Cup. Yeah, I guess you got just sports out the wazoo, man. Sports out the wazoo. Milbester's saying, I was sad the Jaguars lost to the Bills, but the rest of the playoffs have been amazing. A lot of parity and teams are relentless. Well, Jack Armstrong is not with you on that. That's for sure. No, he's not. You don't feel sorry for Jacksonville Jaguars in any kind of way because Bills Nation is very happy. And in some ways, we're Bills Nation here in Toronto because Ed Rogers said so. Anyway, but yeah, you're not like us over here, Kendrick Lamar, as far as we are happy the Bills won, right? Milbester's saying MLB offseason almost over. Pitchers and catchers report to spring training in a couple weeks, and WBC is coming. Got the tournament, and then MLB. Man, your schedule is just packed, my guy. I'm just feel very honored and privileged that you fit the Raptor Freak stream into your schedule, man. Because that's a lot of sports right there, my guy. A lot of sports. Milbester's saying, Lex, I think the Knicks and the Raptors could play in the second round matchup. What do you think how the East is shaping up as we head into the late second half and All-Star break before playing in playoffs? That'd be cool, man. I don't think we haven't played the Knicks in the playoffs in a long time, and we did play them the first time we got in the playoffs and the second time too. And well, I mean, it'd be cool to play you guys again in the playoffs. Seriously, I think it would be an interesting matchup. I think that it would be tough for us. It would be very, very tough because you guys are more of a playoff tested team. And well, but we've got I think we have more talent on our team than you guys. And that may be the interesting battle right there. It's going to be experience and veteran versus youth and talent. because in some ways we have some amazing weapons this year that people are not giving full credit to. And when we're fully healthy with RJ and Jakob in the lineup, yeah, it's a serious Raptors team. I'd love to play y'all in the second round. For sure. For sure. I'd love to play y'all in the second round. That's right. Fiercely saying I bought a package of 8 tickets to go support the Ottawa Blackjacks at home games. Always a vibe when you go there. That's awesome. So you're basically like a season ticket holder. That's most of the season, right? You know, they only have like 30 games and half of them are on the road. You're going to most of the home games then. That's pretty cool. I like that. I like that, Fiercely, that you're supporting the Canadian Elite Basketball League. Those games are a lot of fun. I totally plan to go to Scarborough games way more this year too. And it's fun to have basketball in the middle of summer. I'm going to enjoy Tempo being around too and go see them play. But Scarborough is even closer to where I live, and going to a Pan Am Center is not that difficult for me to get to. So I'll be definitely down there seeing the ends in the end zone with Scarborough Shooting Stars this summer coming up. That's my CBL. She's a Blackjacks fan. Yeah, this is fun, man. In some ways, we get the little city rivalries in the Canadian Elite Basketball League among the Raptor freaks because of where they are geographically. Some are Montreal Alliance, some are Scarborough Shooting Stars, some are Honey Badgers, some are Winnipeg Sea Bears, Vancouver Bandits, yeah, Calgary Surge. There's a lot of good teams in the CBL. And in some ways, that's kind of a fun little thing within the Raptor Freak family. Is like we could have different allegiances to different CBL teams and have a little bit of a like smack talk that way. Yeah. Yeah. I'm a Scarborough guy for Scarborough Shooting Stars. That's my CBL team. I'll stand with them. That's my home team right there. That's right. Bill Bester's saying, what happened with RJ? How's he been? I rarely hear from him or IQ. Why? Well, they don't play for your team. Do they call you? He's like, I very rarely hear from them. As Emmanuel's calling him Milbester. Milbester, stop bugging the Raptors freak with other sports on his channel. Okay, it's call 5. Okay, you calling 5? Is that what you're doing? Are you calling these guys? I haven't heard from them. No, both of them are on the injury report for today, which sucks. RJ twisted his ankle against the Celtics last Friday night, and he's missed this past week after missing a month and a half last fall. And so RJ's been hurt a lot this season so far, and it sucks. But when he's played, he's been super solid and absolutely contributing to us winning. Emmanuel is slightly hurt right now. In fact, I think he's going to play tonight. He's got back spasms he missed the last game, but I think he'll play tonight. But yeah, Emmanuel's under a microscope. Science Lab is putting him on the petri dish and trying to look at him, like overanalyze him right now. Science Lab, put your lab microscopes up and go take a chemical shower. That's right. We'll call it right back to showers. Yeah, go stand in the corner and pull that little chain and let all that shit fall all over you, the chemical shower in the science lab. Because I'm sick of y'all over analyzing our players so much, and put the microscopes up, science lab, on Emmanuel quickly. Seriously, let this man play. That's right. Let this man cook, and we'll call 5. That's right. We'll call 5. Milbester's saying, Lex, apparently our league is heading to a lockout next season. The free agency has sucked. Players not signing and only half signed, and it's January. Owners are cheap. 3-peat coming with Tucker in LA. What are you talking about? Are you talking about baseball? Are you talking about baseball? No, the default is NBA. So don't come in here and say our league. I'm not trying to say nothing about baseball here. Seriously, I'm not saying nothing about that. He's saying the only way is owners selling the team to wealthier investors that spend more and add a salary floor, salary cap. The players will never prefer it. Yeah, either way, if you're talking baseball, that's all over my head, and I ain't got no time for it. No time for it at all. Yeah, Fiercely saying, Lex, I'm no expert, but what happens when you play through spasms? You develop muscle rupture or something? Would you know? It depends. It's all different. A spasm is basically like just something like you could have a spasm on your leg and and it's no big deal at all. Like wherever fiercely you're just hanging out and your muscle kind of goes crazy all of a second. That's a spasm. That's what a spasm is. It's like, oh, what's my leg doing all of a sudden? Oh, okay, it's over. That's what that is. I mean, they're all different. You can't, it depends on how severe and depends on what part of your body and stuff like that. Back spasm is kind of like, it's more like about like your back locking up and being tight and not being able to like totally move as correctly as you could, right? That's really what it is more to me when I hear this. And it's like Garrett and Emmanuel had this. And you know what I think it is? There was a huge temperature drop around Wednesday night where the temperature was right around zero, just above zero in Canada, in Toronto, and then a very drastic temperature drop on Wednesday night to like -15, and that can have an effect on somebody and their muscles and their joints and their bones. They can make them very achy. So I don't know. I don't know specifically what's going on. Dr. Alex Silver is hopefully working with these guys and getting it right. It makes sense with Garrett Temple. I mean, that man's approaching 40. But with Emmanuel, it's a little like concerning. But the thing with Emmanuel is also he's putting a lot of wear and tear on his body, running around on the court and going after it. So who knows? He could have just stepped funny at one point and a little tweak on my back a little bit, and he felt it the next day. Something like that. That's what I think right there. Milbester's saying, fiercely, one thing we learned last year was that players that were playing with a calf injury and ended up getting torn Achilles. Yeah. Yeah, we did learn that with a couple of Eastern Conference foes. Yes, we did. We did learn this. Yeah. Yeah, we did. Fiercely saying, thank you for your opinion on the spasms. Yeah, I mean, I'm not no doctor, but I paid attention to the NBA and injuries and different things like that for a long, long time. And I mean, I think what I said is right. I don't know. Maybe we need a medical expert on this channel. Maybe we do. We might need a doctor or something like that on this channel, or a nurse at least, right? Milbester's saying your calf is in the bottom of your leg with your Achilles. If your calf breaks, you tore your Achilles with it. Same thing happened to Halliburton and Tatum and others. Yep, that's who we're referring to. That's right. That's why NBA coaches, when they find out their players have a torn calf injury, they have to be really careful. Yeah, of course. You gotta take time to heal it. I don't want to talk about injuries so much, guys. This is like stupid. Let's not talk about injuries. James is saying, any idea when Pirtle's returning? He's been gone for a while. I have no idea. No idea. It's really impossible to gauge with him right now. Like I said in recent days, I'm like, he's going up and down with whether he's better or not. He may get better all of a sudden and get close, like he was like a week or so ago, but then he has a fallback. So I don't know, man. I don't have the current situation on an app or anything where I can just look at it. The Dr. Alex McKechnie app. There's no telling with Yak. I will say this: Yak would play if he could. Trust me. He's not sitting out like frivolously. He's seriously got a back issue that if he could play, he would. Trust me, guys. So, and he's self-reporting on whether he's all right or not. You know that too, right? That he's the one who tells them whether he feels okay to play or not. It's in some ways they got to look at him medically and check him out. Like Dr. Alex got to look at him and say, okay, yeah, he's healthy, he's fine. Medically, I can clear him. But also part of clearing him and getting him to play is Yak coming to work and saying, guys, I feel great today. Let's get out on the court and work. Sometimes it's like, no, it's seizing up. I can't. My back is too stiff. I can't work. You know, so it's self-reported by him, and he in some ways sets the tone about where he's comfortable physically and what he's doing. I would like to think that Jakob's a tough guy, and if he really, 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 really could play, he would, because he's not trying to waste his life and sit out, any of that kind of stuff. Fiercely saying, thanks, Milbester. It makes sense that calf injuries develop ACL. No, that's different. That's not the same. ACL is not an Achilles, just so you know. ACL is your knee. Achilles is your ankle and that part. Yeah. Achilles anterior cruciate ligament is ACL. And that's a ligament in your knee, and that's a totally different injury. Achilles is a different thing than ACL, just so you know. I'm more curious on the spasm impacts, as spasms seem sporadic. Sporadic. Yeah, I mean, spasm, that's in the word, right? That's in the word right there. That's in the word. Let's see. Milbest just saying a spasm is a bit of soreness, but it's not a tear in your muscle, but it can lead to a tear. The spasm is just your muscle acting all crazy, like maybe flexing and doing different stuff when you're not voluntarily controlling it. That's what a spasm is. It's like You know how it feels. You know how it feels. You guys have all had some sort of spasm at some point in your body, just so you know. Fiercely saying this, W stream fam, let's get the dub tonight. Please, Raptors. I don't want to see Ballmer's ecstatic facial expressions on TV. I don't think he travels with the team. I don't think he travels with the team. I doubt Steve Ballmer's going to be at the game tonight, and I doubt you'll see him on camera. You'll see him in LA when we go to see him there, but I don't think he travels with the team. And we're playing in Toronto tonight. So I'm pretty sure you won't have to worry about this. I'm pretty sure, unless they're showing him on satellite from across the country or something like that. He's going to be in LA. He's not going to be in Toronto tonight. He's the owner. He's not like Mark Cuban to that point where he's showing up. I don't think if he is at the game tonight and I'm wrong, well, I was wrong. I was wrong. I'm pretty sure he's not going to be at the game tonight. Let's see. Kaz is here. Kaz showing up an hour and a half in. Good morning, everyone. Let's get this W tonight. That's right, sir. And be safe driving on the road. Yeah, and Fierce is saying, thanks for clarifying ACL versus Achilles. Yeah, totally different injuries. The ACL's worse in some ways than the Achilles. The ACL is worse. Milbester saying, Lex, remember when I mentioned the home field advantage idea for in-season tournament recently? All right, why are you talking about this so much? Recently, our MLB commissioner, Rob Manfred, was looking into doing one for our league with the NBA formula, but I don't know. Our season is too long for an in-season tournament. Well, it would just, you know what they do, Milbester? They take existing games in the MLB season and just declare them in-season tournament. That's what they did with the NBA. It's not like they added more games by doing the in-season tournament. It's just that they made more of the regular season games special by saying these are in-season tournament games. So they're not going to add more games. They're just going to make some of the regular season games in-season tournament games if they're going to do what the NBA did. That's it. Yeah. Just saying, oh, tonight is a home game. I got confused with the West Coast schedule. Yeah, it's weird. We're going to play this game against the Clippers here in Toronto tonight at a regular time, not West time. So you don't have to stay up past 10. No, but we're immediately getting on a plane and going to LA after that to play the Lakers in LA on Sunday. But the Clippers are here tonight in Toronto. It's weird. I know. I know it's confusing because you thought, oh, they already got on the plane and went out west. No, they're here tonight. We're in Scotiabank, and Kawhi's playing in Toronto tonight. If he is playing, we'll have to see if he's playing. He may not be. Let's see. What are we doing next on the tabs here? Let's look at Raptors Reddit for a second. Just see if anything's there. They're going over the injuries on Raptors Reddit right now. That's right. Skeleton crew. That's why I'm wearing the skeleton hoodie. Is because we're on a skeleton crew of players that are available to play. Let's see. They've got Grady with the blue pillar behind him. That's hilarious. That's kind of goofy, honestly. Let's see. There's the NBA jump shots. Yeah, Raptors Reddit's pretty okay. Geez, this kind of stuff is so stupid. Yeah, I don't even want to read this. It's so dumb. All right, Raptors Reddit. Y'all are kind of too trade crazy. Y'all just need to be quiet, honestly. All right, let's see. Is there any breaking news on Blue Skies about Raptors availability? Nothing here. Blake Murphy's talking about TNA wrestling. Oh, Blake Murphy and your TNA wrestling. Guys, happy birthday to former Raptor Gravis Vasquez. That's right. Gravis Vasquez is from Caracas, Venezuela. I would want to know what Gravis thinks about current world affairs with his country right now. Gravis Vasquez. He is 39 years old today. So happy birthday to former Raptor Gravis, who played for the Raptors for 2 years, guys. You guys remember Vasquez. He came in the Rudy Gay trade. A 4-year star at Maryland who, had a pretty good NBA career considering everything. He stuck around for a while. But yeah, 2 years in Raptors. He did start quite a few games for us on the years that he was on our team. He started 34 games over 2 years, and he averaged 9.5 points solidly both years he was on the Raptors. So happy birthday to former Raptor Gravis Vasquez. And you guys, we all know about Gravis, right? He's some people really like Gravis Vasquez. He was a hard-nosed player. He really got after it. And of course, he's played for Venezuela's national team after been on many NBA teams also, other than just us. Yeah. All right, let's do the classic card. We're getting close to finishing up. We're going to get done on time today, which is cool. I like that. That's what happens when we cut out all the trade talk, right? Milbest just saying, Lex, I saw Cat on Seth Meyers' late night show a couple of weeks ago. It was great. God, I love Cat. No, you don't. I don't love Cat. I think he's a lazy player, and he's overrated. And I think that he's soft. How about that? And this is what I'll say to this. Here's the classic card, Bill Bester. That's what I'll say to Cat right there, baby. Full name answer gets the classic card of the day right there in honor of Milbester and him talking about Carl Anthony Towns right there. Julius Randle's right. This is what I pulled here. He puts a cat comment up, and I pull the card, and it's Julius, guys. That's right. You like this card, Milbester? You know, if you came to a Raptor Freak event, you could have this card. It'll be in the classic card box that I bring with me when I go to the Raptor Freak events. When we get together in person, the people from this channel, these are free for all. You could look through the box and take this Julius Randle mosaic card if you were coming to the event. That's right. It looks like Cass in front of Slug Deezy today, guys. Just in front of, yeah, you like the shine. This is a nice card, eh? It's like a nice reflective card. You can see my bookmarks. Yeah, all right. So Kaz got in there just ahead of you, Slug Deezy. Wow. I might have to start calling Kaz a fast fingers on this because that was a contentious one. I saw y'all were scrambling to get that in there fast because you're like, oh, that's Randall, that's easy, get that one quick. Yeah, that's gonna be I don't know, should I make it 100 or 50? It is a Nick. We're just gonna make it a 50-point card. It's too current and too well known. It's just a 50-point card. Yeah, yeah. Julius Randle over Cat after all that. I know. I'm just saying, like this dude, y'all sold him out, man. This guy was for New York, and y'all went and did that to him. Although he's had some good revenge in Minnesota and some of the ways he's been playing over there. And you know, Milbester, y'all gonna still circle back and get Dante DiVincenzo back to your team? I know you want that. I know you want that. You want that bad, right? That's right. You're only good with 2000s and up players. I was born in 92. Well, Kaz, you do a good job, man. You do a good job. And that is a very current. It's not very current, but it is a current player that's playing still. Classic card could be Sidel Threet. It could be a Manute Bowl. It could be a Jean Tabak. All right, let me wrap it up, guys, and get everything done to just close up the stream. All right, the Raptors injury list for tonight is extensive, so I'll go over it once again real fast. Garrett Temple is questionable due to back spasms. Jamison Battle is doubtful due to ankle. See, he's very likely not to play. Sandro is questionable due to an illness he's been battling this week. Emmanuel Quickly is questionable due to back spasms. Jacoby Walter is out due to a hip pointer. Jakob Pertl is out due to his back. RJ Barrett is out due to his ankle, and Chucky Hepburn is out due to recovery from surgery. So I'm hoping we'll get Emmanuel back tonight and Sandro. When we get those two guys back, that'll really bolster us and help us. We need both of them for different reasons. We need Emmanuel for scoring punch, and we need Sandro for bigs, for big bodies to be out there just in case. So, yeah, I'm hoping those two guys are back. On the Clippers side of things, they do have injuries also. John Collins is questionable for today due to a groin injury. Kawhi Leonard is questionable today due to an ankle injury. Ivica Zubac is questionable. Doesn't really say his injury. Bogan Bogdanovic is out. He is not on this road trip with the Clippers. He is not even in Canada, I don't think. Derek Jones Jr. is out. He had a surgery, I guess, or a sprain. And Bradley Beal's out for the season, so he won't be available either. I'm speculating that James Harden will be out there with Chris Dunn and Nicholas Batum and Brook Lopez as starting lineup. And we'll have to see if Kawhi shows up or one of those other guys. If I had to pick my poison, I'd much rather John Collins show up out of the three of those guys than Kawhi or Zubac. The referees for tonight's game, Tony Brothers is the crew chief. He does favor the Raptors statistically. Jason Goldenberg is the referee. He definitely favors the Raptors. And then Derek Collins is the umpire. He heavily favors the Clippers. So, yeah, those are our crew chief. Tony Brothers and Derek Collins, those are tough, ornery referees that if you do things right, they will look out for you. Just trust me on that. All right, I guess that's it. Keys of victory. Well, this is a hot Clippers team that's won 11 of their last 13. They're not the same Clippers team that started the season so badly. So we can't take them lightly. And Raptors Nation realize this if we do lose to them tonight, that they are not their record because they are surging back up and they are playing way better since December. So we got to respect our finals MVP, Kawhi Leonard, if he's going to come out there and play. We're going to have to respect and really have a hard time dealing with a guy named Zubac if he's going to come out there. Now, that would be interesting if Zubac does play and Colin does play him and he has some luck or some skill or some success against guarding Zubac. That would be a really good test for Colin Murray-Boyles. And I'm hoping that he can hold his own with him because we may need that very, very badly. Very, very badly. So, Raptors, as Kenrick said earlier, let's run them off the court because they are an older team that may not really want to run a lot. And if we can do our brand of basketball, that could be maybe something that is an advantage for us is get them tired. James ain't trying to run. He's the least moving player in the NBA on defense. That has statistically been proven. That James Harden moves the least on defensive side of the ball out of all the players in the NBA. It's absolutely true. That's right. It's absolutely true. Milbester's just saying, I think they will. Pelicans and Wolves and Knicks want to do a 3-team trade. So we'll see. I think the Knicks will get him back anyway. West is tough. And Dante is a key piece for us to win a title. Yeah, you guys go ahead and make the deals. Deal all over the place, please. Deal like every other day. You guys should be making trades in your sleep. Seriously, I hope you do. I hope you do. Yeah, they'll figure something out. I know they will. That's right. Fiercely saying Bradley Beal's out. Shocker. Yeah, shocker. But Buster's saying, you think the Clippers can make the play-in? I saw some of their early season games with the Rockets. They were awful, but I wonder why they started the year badly before the turnaround with Kawhi. I'm not surprised by any of that. Some of it's basketball gods punishing Steve Ballmer's aspirations and all that kind of stuff. You get what you get, whether it's the Dallas Mavericks or the Los Angeles Clippers. And Kawhi has come back and he's been healthy and he's fueling them playing really well. Well, is he going to play tonight? We'll have to find out. All right, guys, that's enough for today. I'll see you all tomorrow for a reaction to this Clippers game we're going to watch tonight. Hopefully the Raptors can take care of business, be very professional, and do things right. Scotty Barnes, the next best winning play on the court. Go do it. Go do it. And get that ball to Brandon and let Brandon do some stuff to win the game for us by hitting big-time shots. And if there's any kind of scores duel between Ingram and Leonard tonight, woo-wee, that could be very entertaining tonight. We'll have to see who's available and who's playing and how the game shakes out tonight. Defend the North. Defend Scotiabank Arena, Scotty Barnes and Colin Murray-Boyles and the crew. Come in there and defend the North. That's right. W Stream, W Community. I appreciate that. They're better than the Mavs and should make the play-in. I think so too. I think the Clippers, if they do continue going the trend they're doing, they could sneak in and steal one of those play-in spots. Wouldn't it be hilarious if the Lakers just fell right out of the playoff picture altogether, all the way to the bottom, and the Clippers were one of those teams that jumped above them and got in the play-in by the end of the year? Yeah, in some ways, there's a lot of problems with the Lakers. That's a whole other stream. Let's go, Raptors!